Hey there, Mike. What's up, buddy?
Same old, same old.
Hey, we got a trip coming up, brother.
And we're not playing the game. We're not playing the game.
We're not no window game.
No window game, unless the game is how long can we keep the windows down? Then that's fine. We can play that game.
Other game. Yeah, right. Well, Mike, I got a different game for you.
What's that?
Came across a word the other day.
Well, you and your word.
Ancestors.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Handcestors.
Handcestors.
Ancestors.
Ancestors. Okay. Oh, I'm reaching here.
You're on the right track.
I'm combining. I'm combining it with like an ancestor, but a handcestor.
Okay.
It's got to be something related to the past hands that have touched one's penis or somebody's penis. How'd I do?
No, you're on the wrong track.
Not even close.
Well, I would say you're close. All right, I'll give you one more chance. There is a hand and there's a penis involved. Those two things are right. And touching.
Well, I called that one. Ancestors.
That's mostly what I talk about. Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to leave the trombone band out of this one this week.
The Rakata 6.
Oh, God, you always have to say that word, don't you? It's like you're obsessed with the word Rakata. You know what? Oh, God, hands. I mean, that's it. I don't know. You've stumped me again.
You're going to like this one.
Ancestors. Get it? Stumped
all of the ancestors never to be born due to male masturbation.
There's a lot of them.
The sperms of masturbation past. I wiped those ancestors off on a dirty sock. How many of your ancestors live in a sock, Mike?
More than my 3 sons' weight. And anyway, roll them. Roll that show.
All right, fuck that. Let's go. Go on. Let's launch it, Michael.
The music's playing, buddy.
Oh, I can't hear it. Oh, there we go. Hey, this show is not safe for work if you hadn't already guessed. If you're around sensitive ears, this is your only warning, which is, like, again, still a few minutes late because it's time for the MythWits.
To rethink that whole thing, that whole warning, post-warning. Anyway, go ahead. Go.
A show dedicated to all things geek pop culture, drenched in absurdity and coated with sarcasm. Every week, we bring you the news and interviews from the Geekoverse. We do our damnedest to be funny, but as you can already tell, that guarantee does not work. I'm your host, Peter Bryant, and joining me this week is my buddy, Mike Kafis.
Yo.
And another buddy of mine, Mr. Harold Wylie. What's up, Harold? Hi.
Hey.
Harold has been designing and 3D modeling prototypes for the U.S. Army since 2009 and is currently active in drone design and capabilities development, along with a few other things. But that is one of the things that he has been doing a lot of lately. So I thought I'd have him come on the show and talk about some of the drone stuff. Now, Harold will tell us what he can tell us without having to kill us, obviously.
You can tell me, but kill him. That's fine.
Well, okay, yeah, sure. So, Harold, welcome to the MythWits.
Thank you.
So you've been working since 2009, right, with the Army? That's right. I got that year right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We started about the same time.
That's right. We started in the same crappy, shitty little office. It's like these little like I don't know, like not even cubicles, like worse than cubicles. It's like this, like I don't know, like were you like a test center, right? I think it's what it's used for now, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, and then we moved next door to a smaller room.
Right.
Yep.
And then we've moved, and I've had to move more than once. I actually, Mike, I don't know if I ever told you the story. I got kicked out for not being PC.
Oh yeah. Well, hey,
Imagine that.
Pete, is this that bastard that kept telling on you for cussing around?
No.
Them?
Oh no, not this guy.
No, okay.
Oh, no. This guy. So anyway, yeah. So Harold and I have been working together for some time. We're buddies. We got to lunch every now and then, hang out and stuff. But yeah, man, he's been doing some really cool stuff with drones. And I was like, come on a show. Let's talk about some drones. Drones are cool. People are into drones. I think this drone thing is happening. I think it's going to be a thing. Like I saw the other night, this new quesalupa, right? This new Taco Bell quesalupa.
Yeah, had me one.
I was like, good.
Yeah. What's that got to do
They
with
said
drones?
it's going to be bigger than drones.
Oh.
And I was like, probably not.
Well, only if one delivers it for you.
Right. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah. So speaking of which, Harold, what kind of drones have you been working on? Because I know there's all kinds, right? So there's
all kinds. Yeah.
We got the kinds that are like we have drones the size of airplanes, right?
Yep. Yeah. Well, so the kind I've been working on are multi-rotors. So you've got fixed wing, which are the big ones, which carry the missiles and all the drone strikes. That's not us. Mm-hmm. We do the much smaller ones. They're about 2-3 feet across. They've got 4, 6, 8 propellers, and they can't carry a whole lot of weight. They can carry maybe a couple pounds, maybe 5 pounds.
Right.
So,
is that because of the efficiency of the ability to hover? So like when you have those big fixed wing jobs, right? They can rely on gliding on the air, and they've just got more distance efficiency, and so they can carry more weight and such, right? Because they get more lift.
Right. So it's kind of the difference between an airplane and a helicopter. So airplanes can go for hundreds of miles easily, thousands of miles. Helicopters not so much. So they are totally reliant on the energy that they can get from their propeller. Same with multi-rotors.
Right,
so
right.
If you're hovering, it's actually the worst case. If you're moving forward, you're getting some lift from your propellers, from the body. But when you're hovering, you get nothing. That's the worst case.
Right, but you need the capability of hovering for what we're talking about, because you're not going to have takeoff and landing and these things. Because what you were working on, from my understanding, was you needed something to like drop something off, like land, drop it off, and go and fly away, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the military's been using fixed wing for years, but the drones the multi-rotor drones are new, and it offers a lot more flexibility. So you don't have to hand launch. You don't have to have equipment to launch this thing. It can just take off right in front of you. It can land right in front of you. It's a lot more versatile.
Right.
So I got a question real quick. Is there a difference between calling something a drone and calling something like a UAV? Yeah.
So drone has a negative connotation to it because of the military, because of the drone strikes. UAV is basically anything that flies unmanned. So that's the fixed wing, that's the multi-rotors, that's everything in between. So I guess the most technically correct way to say it would be a multi-rotor or quad rotor if it's got 4. It's just kind of a mouthful. Drone is easier. Just kind of, everybody knows when you say drone, they have an idea, but it can be misleading. So drone strikes, all those, military drones, you think of the big fixed wing things. This is something totally different. So as long as we're clear on what we're talking about, then drone works. No problems.
Okay.
There are some people that in the multi-rotor industry, especially people who have been in there for a while, they don't like the word drone, and they've made a lot of effort to kind of drown that out. Not so much now, but when multi-rotors were first breaking into the news, they didn't like the word drone, but that's kind of relaxed a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine, because they're talking about drone strikes, killing people and stuff. And it's just like, hey, we're working on drones. Like, oh, well, maybe not.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, you already mentioned, the range differences between like drones and the hovering style that we're talking about. What are the capabilities of these quadcopters? Like, I mean, when we talk about this range, how far can you send it out and bring it back? What kind of range are we talking about? And I know they vary. So like, depending on how many you have and the weight and all that kind of stuff, but what are we looking at?
So It kind of depends on your whatever comms you have, whatever way you have to control it, what range that has. So typically it may be a kilometer, somewhere thereabouts, half mile. You can get ones that go further, but the communications distance is the limiter. So obviously, if you lose communication with this thing, there's fail-safe, so it knows what to do if it loses communication. It might land, it might return back to base, or it might continue with this mission. If you've uploaded a mission autonomously to it, it'll continue flying if that's what you tell it to do ahead of time. But these things can fly pretty fast, 10 meters a second, which I'm not sure what that is in miles per hour, but it's a good clip. What's that?
That's at least 3 miles an hour, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Is it faster than someone can run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So could you put a grenade on it?
Oh, jeez.
Sure.
Conceivably.
And I'm sure they have, like, do I want to ask this now, or I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, I think. Yeah, let's wait. I don't want to jump the gun on this. I want to stay on track because I'm ready to go, like, hey, can they do this? So anyway, so what's the altitude? Like, how high can one of these things fly? Is it like basically as high as you could possibly want to fly it? I mean, I know it won't go into the atmosphere, obviously, but out of the atmosphere, but I mean.
Yeah, you'll lose sight of it. It'll go several thousand feet, maybe. I'm not even sure how high they can go. There's, FAA has a limit, but these things can get very high.
Okay.
Basically, as long as you have battery and as long as the props are still beating air, it'll keep climbing.
So you got about a half mile range, you said, maybe further, depending on how you fly it and how many rotors you have and how much weight you have on it and all that kind of stuff. Sure. Things can go whatever that magic number was you said for speed, faster than a person can run. Several thousand feet in the air. And it can, so realistically, what are we talking about being able to carry weight wise? I mean, like, if you maxed out all your efficiency, what do you think?
So it can carry a lot of weight. You get something with 8 big rotors. I've seen it lift, a case of beer. It could lift maybe 50 pounds. I mean, some of these things are just beasts. They won't last. You won't get much flight time, but you can carry some weight.
So
if I was, go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was saying, this is kind of leading me toward where I want to get, where the area that I'm interested in. If I'm jumping the gun, Pete, let me know. But I kind of want to touch on where your knowledge base is on with the Amazon's thought about using drone delivery. And,
oh wait, that's coming, Mike.
Okay,
that's coming. But we can do that now. Go ahead. Let's talk about I'll come back to the other one. The other one can wait.
Okay.
Go to Mike. You want to go to? Do we want to go to image 2? No, not yet. I'm sorry. Are you got image 1 up already?
You know what? They did not load. I put them in the folder and they did not load. I'm having an issue with that. So all
right. Fuck it, don't worry about it.
I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. Can I ask this? Can I frame this for a second? Because what I want to know is, I'm hoping Harold will be able to tell us is the tech there that they may be able to do what they're setting out to do, even if it's in rural areas or in certain areas where it's possible? Is the tech for the delivery, like you were saying, it's like case of beer. Hey, I'll order a case of beer from Amazon. But is it there? And also, it seems like to me, from what I've heard so far, is the laws are what's kind of limiting us at this point, like the FAA laws and local laws. And what do you anticipate is the worst case scenario that if actually they started doing it?
Yeah. So technology-wise, it's a stretch. So the aircraft that I've seen look more like a hybrid between a multi-rotor and an airplane. There's definitely some kind of a lifting wing body, something to help it in forward flight. And the other part of your question question is also true. The FAA is clamping down and will continue to clamp down and put laws in place, but it's taken a long time for them to put their ruling out. They move pretty slow, and even with congressional pushing them to come up with something, it's taken a long time. So it's doubtful that it's going to be anytime soon. And then technology-wise, I can't see being able to deliver anything 10 pounds and above for quite a while.
Okay.
So maybe you'll get some rural situation where you're delivering medicine or you're delivering maybe first aid supplies to the victims of a catastrophe. But Amazon, I'm not seeing that yet.
Well, what if I need this cable? I need this cable. It doesn't weigh that much. Can it just, on the way dropping off the supplies, can it to these medicine to hospitals? I mean, can I please get these cables dropped off to me? I need them now.
Yeah, sure, you can. I mean, it could definitely carry that, but kind of where you were going with your FAA question.
Well, yeah.
How does that happen? How do you make sure that this thing doesn't fall out of the sky, land on somebody's head, somebody's house, somebody's car? A lot of things have to be worked out, but Amazon was right in pushing the envelope, trying to get this stuff to move ahead. That's the only way it's going to happen. Is companies need to start taking bites out of this and seeing how far they can push it.
What if I buy a drone from Amazon? Could they just fly it to me? Like,
it won't be in the box. It won't be in the box.
We were talking about this Amazon thing when it first came out with the commercial, and it's funny because Harold's working on these things, right? And I was interested. I would have liked to have worked on them too, but I got stuck on the same fucking project I've been on for the last 7 years. But I'm not gonna be bitter. But anyway, so I was very interested, and I'm like hanging out with the cool kids who get to work on the fun stuff, and we were talking about the Amazon thing, and we're just like, this is total shit. This is bullshit. And we started going through all the reasons of why we're not ready for that yet. Because we're like, all right, so let's run some scenarios, because that's what we do at work.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, thing comes down, goes to drop off a package, and the guy's dog attacks it, right? And starts just tearing the shit out of this drone. Okay. Who pays for the drone? Like, is it the guy's fault with the dog? He didn't know it was coming, so there's that. Then there's, what about the hillbillies who like to shoot at him because they think it's funny,
right?
Or inner city people who like shooting at things. I don't want to rule them out. Let's not just blame the Hicks, right? So there's that. Then there's people who are like, look at me, I got a free drone, right? And they take off down the road with their drone that they just captured. Like Harold said, what if one falls out of the sky and hits somebody? What if it hits somebody's house? What if, like a hoverboard, the thing lands and bursts into flames and sets somebody's house on fire, right? There's tons of problems with this.
Well, and the other thing is, is it economically viable? Does it make sense to do this?
Right.
To have a fleet of drones that are delivering a cable that you don't want to pay extra just because you want it now. Maybe you will pay some extra, but you're not gonna subsidize the cost of their drones. So it's a question.
Right.
I'll get free movies. I'll get free movies or books or something. It'll be fine. They always find a way to make it worth my while.
So then we have, we run into the other thing, right? So like you're saying, laws regarding drones, and so the FAA is trying to figure out what the hell to do about this, right? And I know in the meantime they've started coming up with some other measures. So Harold, what we were talking about this too. What are some of the things they've come up with to stop drones when the time comes?
So you're talking not FAA, but other organizations.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's quite a few, and they're pretty creative. So some are just nets. You'll have a big drone carrying a net, and it tangles up the little drone in the net and then flies off with it wherever. I think that there's some ones that use sound, ultrasonic, like a gun, that basically overloads the avionics on board. Another really cool one is that the Netherlands, the Dutch police are using eagles. They're training eagles to basically snatch a drone out of the sky, and then take it where they can get it. So the first time I saw this, I couldn't believe that this was happening. So I thought, it's going to get its feet sliced off, but no, it actually is fine. If you look at an eagle's talons, they're pretty well scaled. They don't have a lot of nerve endings. And if you imagine, if you have a fan blade that's spinning and you stick your hand near the edge of the blade, you're going to get cut up, or you're at least going to get scratched up. But if you put it near the center where the hub is, it's not as dangerous. And these motors, I they're brushless motors, which means that the motor housing where the propeller is attached to, it's only driven by magnets. It isn't driven by anything physical.
Wait a minute, how do they work? These
they're
magnets?
Yeah.
How the fuck do they work? What?
I see what you did. So
inside joke there.
As soon as anything gets in the way of the propeller, they stall out. Maybe not the split second. If your hand or your face is near them, they'll do a number on you. But if anything, even grass can stop it if it's thick enough. But the bird's talons, it stops the props. Doesn't seem to bother the bird. But if you ever, just Google the Netherlands police and drones, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's just when you're saying that, you're saying, yeah, if you hit the edge of the blades, it'll really do a number on you. How do you know that, Harold? How do you how are you certain of that?
Yeah. So one of the people that we've been working with, a pilot, a very good pilot, he got his knee sliced open by a blade. It was one of those things where the drone decides to take on a mind of its own and go sideways, which they do. It was near the ground and it skipped off the ground. And we all thought that he jumped over it, but no, it got him right below the knee, cut a big gash in him. So you do not want to tangle with the edge of the prop.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were going to say, yeah, you got stung really bad or something. I didn't.
No.
I didn't realize. It's like, so he had to go to the hospital.
Oh yeah, he went to emergency. Yeah.
Holy shit! Damn.
And then you can just Google, people that are getting sliced open, their hands mangled, just with small drones. Again, you don't want to get near the edge of those props. And we looked at putting prop guards on, but in the end, they're just not worth it. You just need to respect them, keep your distance. They look fun, they look cute, but those things will really mess you up.
Cool. Well, respect the props. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, props to the respect. So, so Mike, you didn't get the images working, right?
I got the drone. I got the first picture up with the drone. I'm fussing around with this thing. I got the second picture with
should be like a bird, right?
Well, the bird one is not coming up. That's the one I've been trying to get because I know he was talking about it.
Well, all right. Yeah, there's a picture. Sorry, folks, if you're watching this right now, I have a picture. I found a picture of a bird with his prize. I could not find one with one taking one out of the air. I mean, not good ones. They were like the ones I saw were like
they're
really blurry and because they're kind of moving fast. But there was a bird sitting there and he's like sitting on top of it, looking at the camera like, got me a drone, and the propeller's all busted off of it. He did a number to it. And from when I was trying to find that picture, I found a bunch of articles on it, and they were talking about, I mean, it's not just these quadcopters, birds are taking out gliders and stuff. And these aren't even trained birds. There are birds that see these as, like falcons, like birds of prey and stuff, see these things as their competition or something, right. And they, they're territorial. So, you can be flying your drone and this bird just comes out and whap, takes your friggin' drone out for no reason whatsoever.
Right. So I've seen pictures of that or a video of that, but I was very surprised to see that they're actually training them to do it. But
right.
It's really effective.
So have you had any problems? Like, I guess you haven't had any on base. I mean, we have a bunch of big birds on base, but I know you've got like the covered area that you fly them in, right? Because we're not allowed to fly them just anywhere outside because of air regulations or air restrictions.
Right. And the eagles, of all the eagles that are on post, we have to make sure that we're nowhere near them, and it will be a big deal if we even approach them. So right. we have a map with bald eagle nests marked out, and we, like you said, we fly under a cover anyway, but that was part of our, when we're making our standard operating procedure that had to be called out.
But
so what did you use to
like? You see people talking about, playing with drones and videos and stuff, and you never see anyone going, make sure we got to watch out for birds,
No.
I'm just figuring what you used to map out those bald eagle nests. I mean, maybe you could use a drone. You would be able to spot them quickly, but then you'd be going against the drone.
That's God. Completely meta,
I don't know. They might take out the drone.
We mapped out all the eagle spots so we don't fly anywhere near them. How'd you do that? Oh, we used a drone.
Yep.
All right. So this is where I wanted to go with, like, we were talking about how you could drop packages off. So apparently, look, we have some kind of mechanical device that holds the package and then lets it go. And now in my brain, I'm picturing like a big claw, but I'm sure that's too like hokey. There's got to be a more elegant solution.
Yeah. So I think they use a special box, and they put the articles being delivered inside this box, and this box is either dropped or lowered down. I think it's lowered down. The person then takes their stuff out of the box and puts the carrier back where the drone can pick it up and take off.
Okay.
So that they're still working all that stuff out. That all that stuff is going to have to be hammered out. It's going to be a while, but the company that gets there first is going to do pretty well.
Right. And it's not just first, it's first and elegant. Right. It's funny how that, how that elegance plays in. Cause sometimes, somebody will do something and you'll be like, wow, that's so simple. Why didn't somebody think of that ahead of time? I mean, like that's brilliant, and it's like, oh, you just put a little hooked pin on it. It's like, oh, what fuck? Damn. We run into that all the time. I can't tell you how many times we've like designed some fakakta duty thing and like, oh, they make a COTS, COTS is commercial off the shelf. Is that right? Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Commercial off the shelf item that is like 10 times more ingenious than what we did. And it's like 1/10 the price. I'm just like, look at that. So it's kind of funny the way that works. So what kind of stuff do they put on these things? Like, I know so you could put cameras on it, obviously, right?
Right.
And then like infrared cameras and low light cameras and stuff. But what other kinds of shit can you put on there?
So again, if you can keep it to that 5 pound, they call it low swap. So low size, weight, and power. So it has to draw very little power, weigh almost nothing, and be very small to be a good candidate. But like you said, cameras are what most of the drones, most of the multi-rotors are carrying. You can carry things on it. You can carry supplies. You can drop things off. You could drop off cameras. You can potentially pick things up. That's a lot more tricky than dropping things off, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say most of it is reconnaissance, small deliveries.
So I'm
That's
saying,
all I can say.
I'm saying for like military stuff, right? You could have like chemical detectors of some kind. You could maybe have seismic, like it's supposed to, maybe at night it's flying around. It's listening for people walking or something. I don't know. I don't know if it could get past the rotors or whatever, but I saw somewhere on one of the sites said seismic sensors, and that might just be for like loud sounds, like gunfire or something, maybe, or
right. You could put a thermal camera on there. So say there was an earthquake and you're searching wreckage, you're trying to find signs of life. Drones would be very good at that because they can get up, get a good bird's eye view.
Right.
But with thermal, they might be able to pick up signatures that, people would overlook. And if, say somebody's trapped, they can't get to them, they could deliver maybe a radio, bottled water, first aid kit, to them until they can get people there.
Hey,
Right.
Pete,
so
you may know this. Ground penetrating radar are there sensors light enough for that? They would be able to fit onto a drone and then it could fly around. No. I thought maybe I had a solve for your project 5 years ago, but
yeah, thank you. Why don't I just put them on a fucking satellite? Okay, with a laser and.
Freaking laser
no, ground penetrating
beams.
radar doesn't work that way. It's got to be very close to the ground. I mean, you wouldn't put it on a flying drone. You'd put it on a rolling. You might put it on an ROV. A ground robot, which I think they do. I mean, if you look on the web, I remember seeing some pictures of some people trying to do that. But no, it wouldn't work on that.
Okay.
But you could do all kinds of stuff. I imagine you could put like communication link points and stuff like that. Like, let's say, I know there's some point-to-point communication there's like encrypted laser communication or whatever, right? I can imagine. I mean, I don't know if you could do this or not, but could you imagine if you had troops on one side of a hill and troops on the other side of the hill, and they had this encrypted point-to-point communication, and they wanted to be able to talk to each other? You could send a drone up to make to make that.
Right.
That connection, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's too specific a purpose for a drone. I'm going to carry around this drone just so I can do that one thing. I don't know.
No, that's a very good use for it. And you could also have camera, 360 camera as well.
Right.
So
right.
It extends your communication range, and also kind of your eyes and ears up in the sky.
Right. And, people are worried about drones. The fact that, the stuff we're talking about, you got an eye in the sky. So you got
Right.
I mean, okay. So what laws protect citizens from, say, for example, a cop flying a drone up to your window and looking in your window? Oh, look, I saw a crime, probable cause, right? So now I can go in your house. But this is like a 3rd-story window that you would not have been able to see unless you flew a drone right up to the window. Is that illegal? Who knows? I know you're not familiar with the laws. I'm not asking for an answer. I'm just saying we're just contemplating here. You got those kind of issues, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's the first time I thought about, from the police perspective. But you could also say, a neighbor down the street, does he have a right to do that, to fly up?
Right. Is that stalking?
In fact, somebody we work with, a machinist, I won't name him, had that the very thing happen to him. Someone was flying a drone down the street slowly. Is that legal?
Oh,
you go up and say something to him.
Wow.
That's probably no different than somebody driving down the street in a car. It just looks a lot different, and the fact that they're, videotaping, not good.
Right, and videotaping from an angle, because
Right.
you would think, oh, well, what's the difference? Videotape from the ground, from the angle. It's like, yeah, but blinds and stuff, like many blinds and stuff are set a certain way so that people on the street can't see you. But if you're flying something up high so we can see down in, because you put your mini blinds a certain way, that gives them an access that you hadn't accounted on, that you don't know to defend yourself against if you want privacy.
Yo, I need
So
drone safe.
Expectation of privacy, and this kind of gets around that.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, it'd be a shame if I flew a drone and took a camera of like Selena Gomez having sex or something. I mean, that'd be a real shame if that made it on the internet, and all thanks to a drone.
Yeah. And I've seen some videos where they're flying over top of houses in a city, right? And there are people nude sunbathing on their roofs, because no one can see them. It's the roof of their, they're in the city, so they got this flat roofs, right? And it's the roof of their house, and they're out there, they're laying there naked sunbathing, and the drone comes flying by. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? And this person was essentially, hidden from eyes. They're not exposing themselves, and they haven't put themselves anywhere that would normally be seen. But now the drone can see them. And then again, is it the drone's fault? Not really. The guy's just flying a drone over top of buildings. They can be completely innocent. Like,
it's legal to fly it. It's legal to buy it. It's legal to fly it. But it's illegal for you to fly it, buy it, and tape it.
Try it. I don't know. Right? so that's that's the problem with that. But then we get into one other area that I wanted to mention. On the other end of the police spectrum, right? The other side, criminals, right? Criminals have been caught using drones to deliver stuff into prisons.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So didn't you said, because you were telling me about this. I didn't read this article. I know we talked about it, but you said that they had what were they delivering? Like drugs or something?
Yeah, contraband. So it was flying over the prison wall, and I guess they would pick it up on the inside.
I love criminals. Criminals are they're so funny. It's like they work so hard at not working for a living. It's they just sit around all day to think of crazy shit to do. I'm going to fly a drone into the prison and deliver drugs. Oh my God, that's crazy. All right. So, let's, I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too far over our new time limit here. Real quick, personal drones, and Kickstarters. So there's been a lot of Kickstarters for drones. Do you follow many of these at all? Do you interested in those, or?
Not in a while. It's something that I'm doing at work. So, just keep it there. A lot of them have come up through Kickstarter, and they're doing really well.
Right.
People have an appetite for these things, especially if the price point's low. And the interesting thing is that they're getting better and better. People are adding functionality to them, and the technology is just going nuts.
Right.
It's hard to keep up with.
But it's funny because like all these people are like, yeah, I want to get into drones, right? It's just like, but then all the stuff we talked about, it's like, well, you better be careful because are you going to be able to fly it anywhere? Or, you know, birds going to take your drone in? You know, it's like all these shits you gotta take into consideration if you're going to get in on the drone game. I saw this one. It was an iPhone drone, so I think it was called Phone Drone, maybe. And it was a 3D case, the 3D printed case that you stick your phone in, and the phone was all the controls, so that you would install the software on your phone. And then your phone would be the brain of this thing. So like, you know, you all have a computer in your phone. You can use that to run your drone. You know, you don't need to buy all the expensive. So all you had to do was buy the 3D printed case and the motors and the props, right? And plug your phone in and download the software.
Phone drone.
And then you had a drone. But then I was like looking at that, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stick my phone inside of this thing that is hard to fly, right? I'm like, sure, I'm gonna fly it over water. No, probably not. But then, you know, then they went one step further, like, oh, and for this level, which was like a much lower level, they're like, we'll just send you the 3D files and you can print if you have access to a 3D printer. I might know somebody. And they can just grow the case for you. Then you stick your phone. So you've got the case and the phone, right? All you got to do is buy your motors and your props, which I know aren't super cheap, but cheap comparatively. Right. And I was tempted to get in on it. Like I actually, I contacted Brad and I was just like, hey, if we get like 4 of us together, it'd be like $20 a piece. Right. And I think I was talking to Greg about it. And Greg's like, you cheap motherfucker. You're going to rip this guy. Like, hey, let's buy the file and sell it to everybody at work. I'm like, all right, never mind.
By the way, for any video listeners, if you happen to be watching now, I did trick the program into showing the picture of the bird with the drone. Yeah, the eagle with the drone. So that's pretty badass.
So we got one last thing that I wanted to mention before we bag out of this discussion, and that is sport racing drones.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I saw a video where they were racing these things through an arena.
Right.
So like you were telling me that this, like, the courses are not pre-programmed or anything like that. They fly these things live, like you, right?
Yeah. It's called first person video. So they basically put a camera that's streaming live back to the person flying, and they wear special goggles that projects whatever the drone sees into your eyes. So you're basically flying as if you're in the drone. It's pretty cool. There's no GPS usually. It's a stripped down controller. So basically you're flying seat of your pants.
Is that the next picture I'm looking at, Pete?
Yep. That's image 3. Yep.
Okay. I got you.
So if you all are watching this online, you'll see like this, it's like a lit up box. I couldn't get the whole thing in because the aspect ratio of the picture, but that's a box that the drone is flying through, and you'll see 3 different colored lights in there. Each one of those is a drone flying through like a course. So it has to go through that lit up box to score or to stay in course, I guess, whatever it is. Right.
Right. So at first I saw these, they would run through like the woods and they would race. So you'd have a course in the woods set up and they'd fly through, kind of like the speeder bikes from, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, nice.
And then they would go through like abandoned buildings, and I mean these things are flying. They're hauling. And then they started to design their own courses, lit up, whatever, specifically for racing drones, and it's pretty awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I was watching. I was like, oh my god, these guys are really good. I mean, yeah, because these drones are they're like Harold said, they're hauling ass, and these guys are like. I guess they know their vehicles very well, because like this one drone is like, it was hauling ass, and it goes through this ring, goes to this other ring, and into the stadium, right? So there was outside in the bleacher area, and it's going around the bleachers, and it's going through the ring, and then you go down underneath in the stadium to go get snacks or whatever. Thing ducks down into there, so the thing goes and does like a 90-degree bank, goes into the thing. It's flying around in there through rings, and then flies back out into the stadium at some point. And I was just like, Holy shit, that is like nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So I can see that field is just going to take off. I mean, think of all the different things you could do. Think of how far that has come from the woods to drone arenas to, what's next.
Right. And is that like I guess they're communicating Wi-Fi at that point, right? I mean, I would imagine it'd have to be Wi-Fi, right? With relay
or radio signal, yeah.
Radio. Well, I don't know. Concrete's kind of thick. Maybe if they stay down. I don't know. That's pretty. It's interesting. But yeah, you can catch videos. If you look on YouTube, look up. It is DSR. I think it is Drone Sport Racing. Something. Anyway, if you look it up, you'll find videos online of. And if I think about it, I'll throw a link in the show notes. But that is badass. That's pretty awesome.
It is. Yep.
So let's wrap this.
That's one thing we haven't got into. That's something I'd like to do, but we haven't done anything.
That's got to be an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. I was gonna say, are we gonna get Lester to pay for a drone race?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Hey, ADM. Hey, the next company picnic, drone races.
That's right.
Yeah, no. All right. So what is the future? I mean, like, what do you see in the near future? What doesn't exist now that you're pretty sure is coming?
So the drone delivery, I think that's going to happen. I think that there's going to be a lot more drone traffic. I think that the drones are going to get bigger so that a lot of the deliveries that are made by commercial pilots are going to start being taken over by drones, autonomous, large vehicles, basically a remote controlled plane, or not remote controlled, an autonomous plane. So they'll have their routes and the thing will fly, especially if it's dangerous cargo or non-passenger cargo.
Or soldiers.
Or soldiers.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right. Right.
So
right.
For autonomous things, they use dull, dangerous, and dirty. So or dull, dangerous, and I can't think of what the other D is, but basically jobs that nobody wants, drones are starting to take over, whether they're airborne drones or, ground robots,
right.
Self-driving cars. It's coming. It's going to take a while, but it's coming.
Mail delivery. Everyone's going to be out of a job thanks to a drone. Thanks. Great. That's what I learned today.
All right. So word to the wise, if you're like 12 or 13, drone repairman. Good job. Future in that.
And if you're a buggy whip repairman, switch to drone repair.
There you go.
Oh shit. All right. Well, Harold, thanks for coming on. Stick around. We're gonna play a game with Harold. But Harold, do you have now? I know you were doing some side work. Are you still doing any side work, or no? Yes, no, anything?
Yeah, I'm loaded up.
Okay.
I
Busy?
don't have any time yet.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
So one thing I did want to mention is Pete and I kicking around ideas for a game. So maybe that'll come out down the line.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh God, yeah, we gotta find time to work on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Mike, I'm not busy enough, right?
Oh, look at you! You're making games with other people too. Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
you're making games with another man, are you?
Uh-oh.
Another bald guy. Hey, look, wait a minute, everybody. Hey, we're all
you bitch.
So yeah, hey, maybe that. Oh God, I really want to do that game so bad. It's such a good game, but we're not going to talk about it here.
Great.
So, speaking of which, all right, everybody. That is our interview. Thank you, Harold, for being on the show.
Yes, thank you,
Harold.
Harold.
All right, Mike.
Yes, sir.
I turn the show over to you.
All right, and I actually have the preview ready, and I go live, and here we are. The only stupid thing is I don't have the music rolling yet, but welcome to our game this evening, where we are going to play a movie madness type game. But I have a special game for you, Pete. I have designed a new game. We're gonna run it through today. Run it through.
Okay.
And
like a trombone.
No, not like a trombone. More like a trumpet or something like that. Hopefully this should work out for us, and it should be fun. Basically, what I've done is I've taken sound clips from movies. Harold, do you fancy yourself somewhat of a movie connoisseur? Please say yes.
No. I mean, yes.
Okay, great. That'll work out just dandy. Well, these are pretty common movies, and hey, here's how we're going to do this. I am going to play a clip for you. The first clip is going to be a little more difficult, and what we will have to do is discern whether you want to move on to the next clip, which will be a little bit easier, and then finally the final clip, which hopefully should give it away for you. You may not get it at all, because if you've never seen the movie or you're not part of the memes and culture of the movie, then you're shit out of luck. But that's okay, because that's why this is a game.
So, hey, Mike, are we taking turns with this? Is it
Yes.
Harold goes for his 3 guesses and then?
Yeah, but there's going to be a chance to steal. If someone doesn't get it, the other person can get a chance to steal.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So basically, I will play the first clip. Harold, you're our guest, so we'll start with you. And we're going to do a sound check here. Hopefully you can hear this just fine. Let me know if you do not. Here it comes. Sound number 1.
J. Edgar Hoover will appear and destroy us, okay? So empty your heads. Empty your heads. Don't think of anything. We've only got one shot at this.
Now, I'm happy to play that for you one more time in case you needed to hear that. If you can guess the name of that movie, I will give you 5 points. If you would like to move on to the 3-point sound clip, we can do that.
Let's just go all the way to the end. To the 1 point. No.
Okay. In this particular clip, this was one whole piece. So this might give it away for you. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play this one, and I'll play the next one again. I'm going to play
They're both
first
the same
one.
movie, right?
It's all the same
All three
movie.
will be the
Yes.
same movie. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is all one scene coming together. Here we go. This again.
J. Edgar Hoover will appear and destroy us, okay? So empty your heads. Empty your heads. Don't think of anything. We've only got one shot at this.
All right.
One
Here's
shot at this.
The choice is made.
Whoa! Whoa!
The traveler has come.
Nobody.
You have any idea what? No. All
Men
right.
in Black is the only thing I can think of.
Here we go. Here's the final one.
Whoa!
The traveler has come.
Nobody choose anything. Did you choose anything? No.
Ghostbusters.
There you go. You get all right.
Yep.
So you went down to the 5, 3, and the 2-pointer. So what gave it away? Egon at the end there.
Yeah, that was Bill Murray's voice, right?
Yeah, that was Bill Murray's voice. Yeah, and I think you're at a slight disadvantage, Harold, because I think you're on a cell phone too. I hope the sound isn't too bad for you.
Oh, it's awful.
I see what he's doing there.
Oh,
All right, Mike.
Blame me.
I had that, dude. I knew that one from the get.
Yeah. So this is a pretty good one. Okay, so here is yours, Peter. Here we go with number 1.
Right now.
What happened to your face? It's filthy.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I was cleaning the chimney.
We have no chimney.
What?
You're late.
You feel like you should know it, don't you?
I do. I know this movie. Chimney. And if I guess and I get it wrong, I'm out, right? Or no points for that one, right?
You will lose 1 less point when you get it. How's that? We're making these as we go along. How's that?
No, I'm gonna have to go for the next one.
Okay.
Fox.
And then I'm gonna kill the light. So everyone in this city is gonna know how it feels to live in my world. A world.
God damn it.
Yeah, either you're going to get it with the first one or you need to go to the last one, which I think we're going to go to right now, unless you want to take a guess. Okay, now I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If you're going to say, I think I know it's a movie, but I don't know if it's part 1, part 2, or part 9, the second coming of Christ, I will just give you, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
All right, here we go.
And who are you?
Don't you know? I'm Electro.
That would be Spider-Man, the second one with Garfield.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Harold, you knew that, right? That was right on the tip of your tongue.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
I was, oh God. All right. So I was right. That first clip was Sally Field. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
Sally Field, but what the fuck movie was Sally Field in that talked about a chimney with the, and I'm like, oh, right. She played Aunt May. Right.
All right.
Christ,
you know,
Harold, we're getting old, man. Sally Field is like playing Aunt May. No, I had a crush on her. Smokey and the Bandit.
Ooh,
All right, go ahead.
keep that to yourself, sir. Okay. Harold.
There are plenty of ancestors. No, I'm kidding.
In her honor, in her
honor, yeah,
oh
right.
God. All right, here we go. Harold, this one's for you. Good chance you could get this if you put it all together. There's
Hey, Mike, real quick. Wait a minute before you do that.
Yes.
If you have ancestors to Sally Field, would they be field hands?
Harold, I apologize. It's after you got to deal with that all day long anyway, don't you? You poor bastard. Okay, here we go. Can you quiet down? Harold's got to listen to this.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
All right, next one. So it sounds familiar,
Okay.
but
The
I can't
only
place it.
All right. I'm going to give you a hint after this one if you don't get it. Here we go.
All right.
Got your visitor.
You here to make fun of me, too?
No, ma'am. We at the FBI do not have a sense of humor we're aware of. May we come in?
Men in Black.
There you go.
Nate?
I was gonna say, Harold, that's good for 3 points, Pete. I was gonna say, hey, just in case you don't know, if you made a guess in the past that didn't work, you could still guess that again. All right, here we go. Peter, this is yours. Here we go on number 4. This is pulling back into way back too. This is back in the 80s, just so you know.
Bitches leave.
Gee, Bobby. Bye.
Was that loud enough for you?
Could you try it again a little louder,
Yeah,
please?
all right, because that one is a low one. All right, I'm gonna boost
Okay.
the volume of this player up. I hope it goes. All right, here we go. And hit the right one, Mike.
Bitches leave.
Gee, Bobby. Bye.
That's a tough one, but that's a very famous part of the movie, or one of the very famous parts of the movie.
Bitches leave.
And I don't know if you caught that voice too. That's a distinguished voice, but this is a difficult game. I got to give you. I'm glad I went with 3 choices, not just like, hey, here's one. I think this will be a pretty dead giveaway. So you ready for the next one?
Hold on, wait.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay.
Dude, where's my car?
No.
All right, fuck. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
RoboCop.
There you go. So
two-
you were at
2
the 2
points, right?
No, you get 1 point because you guessed wrong. So
No, that
you
was
get-
the 3. That was the 3-pointer. So that's 2
Oh.
points, right?
Well, yeah, you earned 2 points, but since
No, I
you
earned
got the
3 and I lost 1.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I'm the point keeper. All right, go
Keeper of the points. All right, here we go. This one is for you, Harold.
I'm telling you, it's spooky. She knows more about you than you do. Who doesn't? Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yes!
Son of a
Very
bitch.
good.
All right, it's 5 points.
That's awesome. All right.
She knows more about you than you do.
Very good. Here's I got to play these other Harry Potter ones. Let's see. Wait a minute.
He received an urgent owl from the Ministry of Magic and left immediately for London.
That
And
would
of
have given
course,
it away right
This
there.
would have been a dead giveaway here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, even me, like, under a rock would have gotten that one. All right, so Peter, what is the score after our 5?
Yeah, Harold has 10 And I have 4.
Okay, so there's no conceivable way you are going to win. So I am going to play for you, just for shits and giggles. I'm going to play for you the tie-breaking round, just because we're not going to get to use it anyway.
Okay.
Here we go.
Is it possible the 2 Utes?
2 what?
Is that my guess?
No, we're just, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Come on. That's my cousin Benny.
Okay. All right.
What are Utes? Mike, what are Utes?
The 2 Utes. All right, so that
excellent.
means
Good
Harold,
game. Harold is
Harold,
our
you
winner with
are
10
our winner.
points.
Congratulations, Harold.
All right, what do I win?
The ability to listen to this song that I cut up and played for you on the soundboard. That's basically it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Enjoy it. It's fading out. It's about to end. And it's gone. Hope you enjoyed it.
You have won a very limited commodity. It's called our respect.
Cool.
It's not really worth much. You can't really buy anything with it.
Yeah. So, all right, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to put together a couple more of these, and we'll see if we can't fine tune this. But I like this, the scoring of 5, 3, and
that's good.
Yep. Okay, and lose a point from each one if you've decided to take a guess. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. And that's it. Thank you for playing our game. See you next time.
Right. All right. Let's wrap this baby up with a tiny little bow. Hey, Mike, we're like on fucking time tonight. What the hell?
I don't know. That's if I
like
get this
1 hour straight up.
I may get this edited tomorrow at work and send it over to you. It's definitely
no.
It
Don't
might be
do
like
that.
It could be 50 degrees tomorrow. Oh wait.
Awesome. All right. Well, Harold, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You know, if we ever do that thing, we can talk about the thing sometime and with the thing. So, Mike, let's run the closer.
Rolling the closer, which is going to be rolling as the closer. Shh.
Here we go. You've just enjoyed another awesome episode of the MythWits. A special thanks goes out to our guest, Mr. Harold Wylie. Join us for a live broadcast every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time to catch the full show. Jump into the chat room. Nobody jumped in tonight to ask our guest questions. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes, or the on-demand, as they say these days, and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. You can find our website at mythwits.com, and you can visit us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Do the like, follow, subscribe thing wherever it's appropriate. Give us a bunch of stars and reviews on iTunes. We need those, please. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under a Creative Commons license. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Because
all you got to do is share. Just share with it. Share. Yeah. Try and make money. We need to change this. Try and make money with it and give us some.
Right. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. And join our mailing list. I'll give you some free stuff. It's electronic free stuff. I'm not going to send you any cookies or anything. And find out about all the other cool stuff that we do. Mike, you got a message from Mama Marsh there?
Sure do. Mom, a Yeti, an alien, and a Bigfoot walk into a bar. It's funny. You'd have thought somebody would have taken a picture.
They did. It was just very blurry. All right, everybody. See you all.